Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're finally back on tiermaker.com doing another tier list. I don't know if I should say finally. Who knows who was really looking forward to it, but we're back on it. Today, we're doing a unique one. This is a tier list called Greatest Video Games of All Time, and doesn't obviously have every video game ever, but it has like 100 or I think it's 102 games that you can rank. Obviously, you see each tier goes from masterpiece all the way down to horrible, and I have not tried the game because, listen, there's 100 games, man. There's no way I've played all of them. I mean, there is a way, but I don't think I've played all of them, at least on this list. But we're just gonna go through this today. I'm trying not to make the intro too long, because dude, it's 100 games. It's gonna take a minute. All right, so we're just gonna jump into it right away. I'll try to give a brief explanation as to why I think the game goes there, but not dive into too much grueling detail. So let's just jump into it. First game here, BioShock. I think the BioShock games in general are pretty great. I don't think they're the best games ever, but they're fun, especially on the first playthrough of them. They're great. Castlevania, I believe this is. I don't think I've ever played that. Fallout New Vegas is probably the Fallout game I've played the most, and I would say it's an amazing Fallout game. Fallout in general was great all the way up until 76. We don't talk about 76. That one was ass. Next one, the original Half-Life, I believe this is. Never played the original one. Half-Life 2, though, is great if we're gonna go down that route. I can't tell if that's 1 or 2, to be honest. It's also a little hard. These are very small icons, all right? They're very small. Street Fighter 2, I mean, I would rank all the Street Fighter games as just like pretty good. I don't think any of them are great or anything. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I've said it very many times. I'm a huge Smash Bros. Fan. Ultimate's just very good. Melee is a masterpiece, but Ultimate's just very good. If it had decent online, I think it actually would be like an amazing game, but you know what? I'm even moving it down. The online in Smash Ultimate is just so absolute dog shit that I can't rank it higher than that. Team Fortress 2 is very good. Well, I think it's probably good too. It used to be better, but as time goes on, it just gets worse and worse and worse. So that's where I'd rank that. Until Dawn is a very good game. It doesn't really have high replayability, I'll be honest, but the first time you play it, it's very good. I enjoyed it very much. So Warframe, never played. Uncharted 4 Thief's End, I might put as masterpiece. I think it's the best Uncharted game. You know what, I'll do it. I think it's the best Uncharted game in the series. I love the game. I've played it multiple times. I've said it before in different videos. Uncharted is just a great series in general. Go play Uncharted 4. Well, go play all the Uncharteds, but especially 4. It's a great game. Never played this one. Battlefield 1. It's decent. I don't think it's anything crazy, to be honest. It was okay, though. That's about all I gotta say. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, amazing game. Everybody as a child had this on PlayStation. It's fun. Even the remakes that just came out a little bit ago are great. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater, just a great game in general. Red Dead Redemption 2, it was good. Nothing to write home about. I think the first one was way better. But in general, Red Dead Redemption 2 was pretty fun to play. So I'll give it a good grade. Dota 2, listen, I'm just not a fan of these genre of games. I'm not saying that it's bad in general for everybody. I just personally am not a big fan of these types of games. It's just not my style. That's all. The only reason I'd put it as really bad. And I still don't even think it's horrible, because even sometimes I'll watch like a tournament of Dota occasionally and find some enjoyment out of it. So I don't think it's awful, but it's just not my type of game. Fire Emblem Three Houses, I actually played. I think it's an amazing game. Maybe great. No, I'll say amazing. I've played like 120 hours of Fire Emblem Three Houses, because I played through like all 3 houses, and it's like a 40-hour game. So I mean, I can't rank it any lower than that. I really enjoyed it. It's the first Fire Emblem in a while that I've enjoyed. I think the past couple before it were just like okay. So Three Houses for me was great. I still don't think it's the best Fire Emblem game ever, but you know what? It was good. Halo Reach, it's a great game. Probably my favorite Halo of all time, the one I've played the most. But I think in general, Halo's not like that great. I'll say it. Maybe that's a controversial take, but I don't think Halo's like that great, to be honest. Sonic Mania, never played. I don't even know what that is, so I haven't played it. Arkham City, I believe this is. Arkham City. Was City that great? City was, you know what? City was pretty great, I'll be honest. I like all of the Arkham games, but I'd say most of them are great. Maybe one of them amazing, and then one of them is really bad. I'm not gonna say which ones because they might be on later on the list, but if we get there, you'll see what I mean. Jungle Party, I've never played. Modern Warfare 3, it's good. Not my favorite Call of Duty of all time, but for its time, it was pretty good. I was more of a Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1 kind of kid, so Modern Warfare 3 wasn't my sweet spot, but you know, it was pretty good. Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled, I'd say, you know what, it's a very good game. I've played this a lot actually with my girlfriend. It's just a classic like racing game. Everybody likes racing games. They're great for a reason. Yeah, pretty good overall. Lots of replayability. It's like a racing game. You can play it anytime with anybody. It's good. Mass Effect 2. Did I play this game? No, I didn't. I played the original Mass Effect, but never 2. Final Fantasy. Which Final Fantasy is this? I can't tell. Couldn't tell you, but I'm just gonna guess it's great. I like most of the Final Fantasy games. If it's the one I'm thinking about, it's probably amazing. But I'm just gonna go with an average of ranking Final Fantasy games. I think it's 7. If it's 7, it's amazing. If it's not, it's average of great. You know, I'll just put it amazing. I'm going to say it's Final Fantasy 7, even though I can't tell. Final Fantasy 7 is an amazing game. You should play it for sure. The remake they did is also amazing. So if you're into any forms of Final Fantasy 7 is probably my favorite Final Fantasy. So go play that. The original Watch Dogs, I'd say it was pretty good. They should have stopped there. I'll just jump out of the gate and say that. I know Watch Dogs 2 is on here. Listen, man, just stop. You should have stopped at the first one. It was okay, and that's all you needed. And then they just kept making it, and I don't know why. I will never understand why. Anyways, back on track here. Uncharted 3, I'd say it's pretty great. I wouldn't say I think Uncharted 4 is the best one. 3 is a little forgettable to me, but I just like the Uncharted series in general so much. I think they pretty much all will be very good or above. Don't know what this is. Bloodborne, it was decent. It wasn't my favorite game I've ever played, but I also didn't hate it. I know, maybe a more controversial one. These types of games are, depending on how good the game is where my enjoyability lies. If it's not like a perfect game, I won't enjoy it as much just because I'm not the huge fan of this. But you'll see as we get more down the list what I mean when I say that. Don't know what that is. The Lego Star Wars 2, actually a good game. Don't ask me why. It's just a good game, man. If you've ever played it, you'll know it's pretty fun. Original Shadow of the Colossus was decent from my memory. It's been a long time since I've played it though, but I'd say probably decent. XCOM 2, was XCOM 2 the absolute dog shit one? I can't remember which XCOM it was that was literally unplayable. Let me see if it's on here. I can't remember which XCOM was so bad. I think it was not 2 though. I think this one was decent, so we'll put that there. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was pretty good, I'd say. It's not the best Assassin's Creed, but it was decent. I think most Assassin's Creeds are pretty decent at least. GTA 4, very good game. Before GTA 5 was my favorite GTA, probably. Maybe Vice City, but I liked Grand Theft Auto 4 a lot. It was fun. It reminds me of my childhood. Me and my older cousin would play it all the time because he was like a hoodlum, and my parents would always get real mad when they would find out we were playing that game together, which always made me laugh. So holds a special place in my heart, that one. Metal Gear Solid 3, I've never played. I haven't played a ton of the Metal Gear Solid series, if I'm going to be honest. This Assassin's Creed was not good, I'll say it. Most of them aren't, but there's some mediocre ones, but this was just not good. Smite falls in the same category as Dota for me. I just don't like it. In fact, I probably would put Smite here because at least I can watch an occasional Dota tournament like I said. I can't do that for Smite. The original Doom, probably great for me. Not my favorite game of all time, but it's good. Borderlands 2 I think is a masterpiece. I've played so much Borderlands. Again, when I was younger, I would go over to my brother-in-law's house. He wasn't my brother-in-law at the time, but I would go to his house and we would play Borderlands 2 all the time. Great game. I'm sorry, this is the original Doom that I was talking about. The remastered Doom, though, I'd put equal footing. Anyways, Final Fantasy 15, it's good. Again, Final Fantasy 7's my favorite. I think anything else is just pretty good. Not my favorite of all time, though. I'm gonna go the original Dark Souls first. Where would I put the original Dark Souls? Original Dark Souls I'd put good, but Dark Souls 2 I'd put at great, I think. I think the original Dark Souls got me interested, but wasn't that great because it was just old at the time that I played it. Dark Souls 2, though, I played pretty much as soon as it came out and loved it. I think everybody who's played the game can pretty much attest to the fact that it's very good. Mario Odyssey, I'd say, yeah, Mario Odyssey is very good. It's not the best Mario game of all time, but it's good. Devil May Cry 5, I've never played. I've never played any of the Devil May Cries. I should probably play those at some point. Odyssey, listen, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it was not good. Not a fan of that one. Maybe some people were, I can't remember, but I was not. Mortal Kombat 11 was decent for a Mortal Kombat game, but I don't think it was the best ever. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, not a fan. I'm a Call of Duty kid. There are like 4 games that I would attribute all of my gaming love to. Call of Duty series is one of them. They got me hooked on shooter games for a long time. Listen, man, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, not a good installment in the series. I think most people who are real Call of Duty fans would agree with this take. Half-Life 2, listen, I think it's good. I think it kind of falls in the same category as Team Fortress 2, where I'm sure back in the day it was great for its time, but looking back at it now, it's just okay. League of Legends falls into the same category as Dota and Smite, but I'm actually gonna put it at good instead because I find myself watching Worlds at League every single year at least and enjoying it and rooting for teams and having fun with that. Can't say that for any of the other ones, so that's where that one's got to go. Overwatch, I used to play Overwatch a lot. I think it's a decent game. It could be so good, but we all know how Overwatch goes with its devs and the way the metas worked and stuff. It just fell off really hard. It's decent right now, but I can't give it anything more than that. This is the Crash trilogy, I'm assuming. Crash trilogy I'd put very good as well. If you're into Crash Bandicoot, they're very good. If you're not, they're just okay. But I like Crash Bandicoot, so I'd say they're all very good. Oh my god, we still have so many games. I gotta bust through these. Okay, well, I don't know which God of War this is, but I think all the God of Wars are very good games, so I'm fine with ranking it at just very good, even though I don't know which one it is. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, I've never played, although I've heard it's a fun fighting game, just never played it. Didn't play this Far Cry. I basically stopped after Far Cry 2. I just didn't think, I lost pretty much all interest in the game at that point. Not great. FIFA 20, listen, I've never played FIFA 20, but I want to rank just a FIFA game in general, and I would rank it at pretty bad. I'm not a FIFA fan, to be honest. Tetris, look, it's a masterpiece. It's a classic. Everybody loves Tetris. You can't argue with me on that. Fortnite, controversial take. I think it was a really bad game that somehow got popular. Don't really understand it. I was never a Fortnite kind of guy. Just my opinion. If you like Fortnite, that's perfectly fine. I understand why people like it. It just wasn't. World of Warcraft, another game that I did not like at all growing up or even as an adult. Again, I understand why people like it a lot. It's just not for me personally. I think the time invested is just too much for me. I think that's my biggest issue. God of War, again, very good. I think all the God of Wars are very good, if not great. They're perfect. Pokemon Emerald, I think it's one of the best Pokemon games. If you're into Pokemon, you'll love it. If you're not into Pokemon, sure, I get it. If you haven't seen my channel at this point, go back and look at some of my videos. I'm into Pokemon. I like Pokemon. Emerald's probably my second or third favorite game ever in Pokemon, so I think it's a masterpiece for sure. GTA 5, I think is amazing. I said it earlier when I talked about GTA 4. I think 5 is my favorite GTA game. It's great. It's so much replayability. Very, very good game in general. I remember being in middle school when it launched and everybody leaving football practice 10 minutes early to try to go download GTA 5 a little bit earlier. Good times. Horizon Zero Dawn, I believe this is, was a very good game. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Not my favorite game of all time, but very, very good. Never played Yakuza 0. Original Lego Star Wars, actually a great game. Unironically, the Lego Star Wars games are pretty good. Don't sleep on them. Play them. They're actually really fun. Mario Kart 8 for Switch. Listen, you can't, it was decent. I was gonna say you can't really rank it less than good because it's a Mario Kart game and Mario Kart games in general are just good, but it's no Mario Kart for Wii. All right, I'll say it. It's no original Mario Kart. It's just okay. In fact, I might even put it bad. No, I'll keep it at decent. It's a decent enough game. If you're into Mario Kart, you'll like it. Super Mario Galaxy, I've actually never played. I want to go back and play it at some point in time, on the channel or maybe whenever my internet's good enough to stream, maybe go stream some Mario Galaxy because I've never played it. But Minecraft, I think, is a masterpiece of a game. Even if you don't like Minecraft, I think it's hard to argue just based off its pure success alone. Like, it's a very great idea of an open world sandbox game with just infinite possibilities. Like, you can't tell me that's not a masterpiece of a game. It's just so simple yet so complex and has so many possibilities. It just has to be a masterpiece. Original Counter-Strike, I'd say it's bad just because it hasn't held up well in terms of time. I'm sure back in the day it was great, but looking back now, it just doesn't hold up. Pac-Man, I think, is a masterpiece. Nobody can argue with that. It's Pac-Man, man. Everybody loves Pac-Man. Persona 5, it was decent enough. It's a Persona game. They're not like, I feel like you're not playing Persona expecting the best game of all time, and if you are, you're looking in the wrong place. Pokemon Sword and Shield, I'm a Pokemon fan, but man, you know what, I won't say horrible, but that was a really bad game. It was a really bad game. It's too easy. There's not enough variety. The story is just bad. Like, it's just not a good game. If you're into Pokemon, go play like Emerald again. You'll find more enjoyment out of it than you found in Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's getting better. Like, the newest DLC actually seems pretty fun, but like, just base game, not good. Original Pong, come on, that's a masterpiece. That was one of the first games of all time. It's what got people into gaming in the first place. It's great. Portal 2, I think, is also a masterpiece. I've played a ton of Portal 2. I've played through it like 4 times. It's just a great game. If you've never played Portal, you won't understand, but it's just a really, really good game. Original Portal, I'd put it at great. Actually, I don't think it's nearly as good as Portal 2, but I think it's still really good, and obviously without it we wouldn't have Portal 2. So Jackbox Party Pack number 6. Never specifically played number 6. In general, I think Jackbox games are pretty fun. You get the point. I'm gonna put it up here just so you can see it. Resident Evil 2, I think, is a good game. I'm not a huge fan of Resident Evil series, but 2 was pretty good. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, I haven't played it yet. Again, another game at some point I want to play, like on YouTube or on Twitch or something. Don't know what this game is, I can't tell, so we'll put it here. It might be an Uncharted game. I honestly can't tell. The original Super Metroid, I'd say, is good. It's just another one of those games. A lot of games, just when it comes to time, they just don't age as well as you would hope, but overall I'd say pretty good. I've gone back and played it since. It's still pretty fun. Super Mario Bros 2, I'd say, is great. Not as good as the original Super Mario Bros, but still great. Super Mario Galaxy 2, never played because I never even played the first one. Terraria, I'd say, it's a pretty good game. I honestly would just rather play Minecraft personally, but I understand why people like Terraria. It's pretty fun in general. Elder Scrolls Online, Skyrim. Do I want to put it as masterpiece? Honestly, I think I will. I think if you've ever played Skyrim, you have to put it in like one of these 3 categories up here. It's just an amazing game. Again, another game with just a ton of replayability. Like, the mods make it really interesting. It's just a whole lot of fun. If you've never played it, go play that. The original Last of Us, I think, is an amazing game. I've said in other videos, just go play it. I don't want to spoil it, but man, it's a really, really good story game. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, probably my second favorite Zelda game of all time, but I think it's a masterpiece nonetheless. It was literally what got me to buy a Nintendo Switch. Like, it's that good. It's just so much fun. If you've never played it, it's a great game. Great game. Legend of Zelda, I believe this is Wind Waker. Wind Waker is another amazing game, honestly. Nothing more to say about it. Zelda games, and if you've never played them, they hold up really, really, really well. I don't know why it is, because I don't know. They just hold up really well. Ocarina of Time is my favorite Zelda game ever, so it also has to go masterpiece. It's what got me, one of the original video games that I ever played, got me into gaming, one of them. It's just a great game. Uncharted 2, I think, is better than Uncharted 3, so I'll put it up here at amazing. The Walking Dead Telltale game actually is an amazing, amazing game. The original one, they continued to make some like years later, which dropped the quality a lot, but the original Walking Dead Telltale game is amazing. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, I've never played. Listen, it takes so long to play. Apex Legends, it's decent. I mean, I think it's probably pretty bad. I think it like falls in the same category as Fortnite for me. I understand why people like it. It's just not my type of thing. Celeste, I've never played, but I want to play at some point, although I do know the Celeste soundtrack bangs for sure. Don't know what this game is, so we'll put it here. Is this? Yeah, Dishonored 2 was pretty good. The original Dishonored, I'd say, is better. I'd put it at very good. Both of them, pretty good games. Play Dishonored. A lot of these games, keep in mind, I don't want to say too much about, because, like, they're story-driven games, and if you say too much, you kind of spoil it, and I just don't want to do that. Firewatch, if you've never played this, it's a very good game. It's just, like, a random, like, it does not take very long to beat, like, maybe 3 hours, I'd say, if you're trying hard, but it's really fun. It's got a very interesting story and a very interesting concept. Really like that game. The Binding of Isaac, I think, is a good game. I'm not one of those people who like thinks it's a masterpiece or anything. I don't think it's bad, but I think it's decent. Jesus Christ, there's still so many games. Okay, let's just go through some of these. Black and White 2 Pokemon is my favorite Pokemon game. Probably my favorite game on here so far, next to these two. And then probably like this. Maybe, actually, probably like this. Come on, get it right there. That's probably my order on the top so far. Super Seducer is, listen, it's a weird game, but it is amazing. It's so funny. That whole series is just so funny. It's all about a dude like doing some crazy shit to try to get a date or sex, and it's so funny. I also want to note it's all staged, so like don't take offense to it, but it's very funny. Let me just try to go through all of the ones that I haven't played. Okay, I think that's about all the games that I haven't played, so let's just continue on with the rest. So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, new Star Wars game. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was anything to write home about, but it was pretty fun to play. Left 4 Dead 2, I think, is an amazing game if you've never played. Again, just a whole lot of replayability. It's a fun, like, party game if you're ever, like, messing around with your friends. I have heard, I am not old enough to drink, but I've heard it's a very good game to, like, drink and just have fun with. Outlast, the original Outlast, is probably my favorite scary game of all time. I put it in amazing. It's if you've never played it, it's pretty scary. I'm not even gonna lie. It's scary, man. I don't like scary games usually. I don't usually just like scary things in general. I don't like going out of my way to be scared. But Outlast, very fun. Getting Over It is like, I'd say it's a great game, but it's also like one of the most frustrating things I've ever played in my entire life. But in general, I think it's pretty fun. Papers, Please is a pretty great game. It's so like weird and random that you wouldn't think it was going to be as good as it is, but it's actually really fun to play. Very funny a lot of the time. I like Papers, Please. Resident Evil 7, I rank it probably just at good. I'm, again, not the biggest fan of Resident Evil. I think it's worse than 2, but not by very much. Roblox, this one just made me laugh, so I wanted to keep it in. I think it's a pretty horrible game in general, but like, I love the fact that there's like a whole community behind it that love it a lot. It's not for me personally. If you like it, that's fine. I'm just a Minecraft kind of guy, so I'd rank it down here, but it's just funny in general. Rocket League, I would say it's good game. It's gaining a little popularity recently, which was a surprise to me. Not that it's like bad, so it's surprising, but it was just surprising because I didn't think it would like have a resurgence. But if you like Rocket League, you like it. If you don't, it's just an okay game. It's fun to play every now and again, just get a couple games in, but not my favorite game ever. Sims 4, I'd say it's a great game. It's a Sims game. You know what the Sims are. It's not the best game of all time, like the series, but Sims 4 is probably my favorite Sims game in general, so I'd rank it there. The original PS4 Spider-Man, I'd say, is amazing. I haven't played the new one yet, the one that just came out on PS5. I don't have a PS5, I'm broke, but eventually when I get one, I'll play Spider-Man. But this Spider-Man game was amazing. Story is just great, fun to play. Spore is another one I missed that should go there. Wii Sports, I think, is a masterpiece. Like, it was the only game on Wii that I would consistently go out of my way to play, even if I've played it multiple times. It's a great party game. You got people over, you play boxing, you play some golf, some bowling. It's just great. It came with the Wii, so it was like even better because it was free. Factorio, I think, is just a good game. I don't think it's anything crazy. Fallout 4, I'd say, it's probably an equal footing with New Vegas. But I think most of the Fallout games are on pretty equal footing. You know what you're gonna get. They're all really good. The story's great. The customizability is great. This Fallout game is as well, I'd probably say, is amazing. Nothing, I don't think any of them are masterpieces, but I think they're good. Fallout 76 is probably the top 3 worst games I've ever played in my life. Do not buy Fallout 76. It's so goddamn awful. But I'm not gonna rant on that. Gmod, I think, is amazing. It's a great party game again. It's fallen, actually, I'd put it at great. It's kind of fallen off in recent years. It's the date is showing a little bit. It's also like a hassle to set up and really glitchy and like that kind of stuff. So like its age shows a lot more nowadays. But like the game modes inside of it birthed a whole ton of new games. Like Trouble in Terrorist Town is basically like Among Us is basically just Trouble in Terrorist Town from Gmod, just a little bit different. So, you know, like it gave birth to a whole new generation of games that basically took their game modes and made them better. So you have to give it some credit in that aspect. CSGO is probably the game I've played the most next to Minecraft, although I think it's a fucking bad game. I've played it the most, but I have a love-hate relationship with it. I've played a lot. It's not actually bad. I'd say it's decent, but it has a lot of issues, a lot of flaws. If you've played it for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. There's just so many things wrong with it, but it's also like just one of those shooter games that you can get on at any time and like have a decent time or a really bad time. It's either you have a decent time or you want to kill yourself. So I think it's gotta go just at that area. Guitar Hero 3. I was never a Guitar Hero kid. I think they're decent games, but I was always a Rock Band kid. Hotline Miami. It's a good game. People like it. I think the design of it is like the aesthetic is so sick, but the game itself is just okay. Just in Case 2 is a good game. Nothing crazy though. That's why. It's Kingdom Hearts, man. I did this earlier too, but Kingdom Hearts, I think all of them are pretty good. Life is Strange, I think is an amazing game. The original Life is Strange, like Telltale is, I actually don't know if that's a Telltale one, but it follows like the same pattern of like you have choices that you can make and that affects the way the game ends and stuff. Great game. The second one I have my gripes with. I still think it's pretty good, but it's just not as good as I wanted it to be. This one, I don't know. Plants vs. Zombies. Good game, nothing to write home about. Rainbow Six Siege, I think is basically, I'd say it's good. I think it's what I want Counter-Strike to be. A lot more polished, a lot more refined, and like works better. If I play it, I don't want to kill myself at the end. I may be upset that I lost, but never something like that. Star Wars Battlefront, I think is an amazing game. If you've never played Battlefront, you're missing out. It's probably the best Star Wars game. Super Hot, I think it's good. It's fun like for the first 2 times you play it. Then the novelty kind of wears off and it loses a lot. Undertale, I think is an amazing game. If you've never played Undertale, it's very unique, very cool. Sans himself has become such a meme at this point though, but that's fine. Original Pokemon Red and Blue, I think go up here too. They're probably my least favorite of the 3 Pokemon games that I have up here, but you have to give it to Generation 1 Pokemon. They did it right. They did something that nobody had done at that point, and they created the biggest video game franchise in history, Pokemon, because of this game. So you have to give that credit. It's a masterpiece game for a reason. Animal Crossing, in general, I'd say all of the Animal Crossings are pretty good. I don't think they're the best games of all time, but like they're very fun to play, especially for the first couple weeks. Just like the new one that came out, they're just fun to play. Ghost of Tsushima, I'd say is an amazing game. Very, very fun. Lots of fun in that one. Fall Guys. I think if the devs were good and released new maps all the time, it'd be a great game, but instead they don't, so I think it's a bad game because it's the same 3 maps over and over again and it's just not fun. Valorant. It's good. I'd say it's better than CSGO, but I enjoy it less, oddly enough. It's more refined, more polished. It has a lot of cool aspects, but it still is like has a lot of the same issues as Counter-Strike when it comes to just like it takes 40 minutes to have a game. If you have bad teammates, you want to die. It's just got a lot of those aspects that these shooters kind of have, so that's where I would rank that. Cuphead, fun but very hard, but I'd say it's a very good game in general. Death Stranding, I'd say it's a good game. I don't think it's crazy. I think some people would rank it higher than me, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as others. I think I'm just going in random order here at this point. Payday 2, decent game, nothing to write home about though. Just Dance, I've never played 2020, but I want to rank a Just Dance game. I'd say they're pretty good. They're all the same basically. You just dance to music. If you have never played it, it's fun for the first couple times. If you're out of shape like me, you hate it because it shows very obviously that you're out of shape. I actually don't know what that is. Dying Light, I think when it came out was like very good to great. Now looking back at it, it's just good. If you've replayed it at all, it's mediocre at best. But like also I've played it a couple times, so I have to rank it at good at least. Rust, pretty bad, I'll be honest. I'm not a huge Rust fan. I understand why people like it. I think it's just not very refined. I think there's a lot of issues with the game and just the community in general. Listen, man, I've run into more racist people on Rust than I've run into in any other game in my entire life. That's gotta say something, right? Last of Us Part 2, got a lot of hate when it came out. I do think it's worse than the original Last of Us, but I still think it's a pretty great game. It's The Last of Us, man. Like the concept of it is great and the overall execution is pretty great. I don't think it's the best game of all time. I think it's worse than the original, but that's fine. Call of Duty Warzone, I think it's good. I think it's probably my favorite battle royale game. Like, I like it more than Fortnite or Apex or any of the other ones. I'd say it's pretty good. Elder Scrolls Online Oblivion. I think Oblivion is worse than Skyrim, but also just a great game in general. It's still really good. Persona 4, I'd say, kind of has a lot of the same issues as Persona 5, but I'd say it's better in general. So I'd say it's a very good game. Titanfall 2, ironically, I played more than Titanfall 1, but still suffered from the same issues as the original Titanfall. Like, it was just bad, I'll be honest. Shovel Knight, it was pretty good. I'd say very good. Not the best game of all time, but pretty good. Dead by Daylight, a lot of people like this game. I thought it was pretty bad. I didn't enjoy it personally. Maybe I didn't play it enough. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance. Maybe I didn't play with the right groups. I don't know. I just didn't like it very much. I thought the novelty of it wore off very, very quickly, and I found myself not enjoying it very much. DuckTales, I left this one on here because it was funny, but I think it's actually, ironically, a very good game. Just a lot of these games, I have said it, but just go play it. Like, you'll understand once you've played it if you've never played it before. Untitled Goose Game, I was one of the people who didn't think it was very good. I thought it was kind of bad. Again, it was just like the same thing as Dead by Daylight. The novelty for it, for me, just wore off so quickly that I found myself like kind of bored very quick. So okay, well, there you go, guys. That's the list. Basically, the categories that matter are up here. There's some ones that are controversial that people won't like. I haven't played a ton of them, but overall, I've played a lot of games. I enjoy games very much. I think my ranking is pretty solid for what I would want it to be. Not too many in Masterpiece, which is always good. Not too many in Horrible either, which I think is good because I don't play horrible games usually, which is a good sign. So either way, guys, that's my list. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here, and turn on notifications for when I post more videos just like this. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Either way, guys, I appreciate you and I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.